Well, good afternoon. Thank you all. Today I'm pleased to be joined by our Chief of Police, David Nisleit, our Lifeguard Chief, James Gartland, and Imam Wali Fardan. Imam, I'm glad you're here today. Today I'm going to talk about a couple of updates. First, a reminder to stay safe this weekend. We're going to talk a little bit about public safety. Second, an update on religious gatherings as we approach the end of Ramadan. Third, our new contact-free pickup services available at our public libraries starting this Tuesday. And lastly, as I always do, I will highlight the work that San Diegans continue to do to step up in this great time of need. But before we get into our topics, certainly want to recognize a very important day for our city and our nation on Monday, Memorial Day. I will have the privilege of participating in a modified version of the annual celebration at Mount Soledad this weekend. This global pandemic, of course, has changed a lot of things, but clearly reminds us to think about each other. So this weekend, let's think about and remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our nation and our freedoms. Topic one today, a reminder to stay safe this weekend and to support our local restaurants and to follow the rules. Yesterday, restaurants and retail stores began slowly reopening across the region as we enter phase two. Restaurants, as we talked about, can now have in-dining customers and in-store retail is also allowed. And it's been great news for many San Diego businesses and employees who have been ready to get back to work and to do it in a safe and responsible way. And the vast majority of businesses did a great job yesterday. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You've been planning and preparing to keep your employees safe and your customers safe. As I've said, widespread, great compliance in San Diego and throughout the region. We had a couple that didn't do so well. One restaurant in particular drew a lot of attention for all of the wrong reasons. And what we saw last night at El Prez in Pacific Beach is unacceptable. And so today, the county shut down this restaurant for violating the public health order. And the same thing will happen to any businesses that operates with a flagrant disregard for the safety of others. We want to and we will move into the next phase. And we want to continue to reopen safely and responsibly. That's why we've been working so hard as a region to do the right thing. But we can't do it if incidents like that become more prevalent. I'm confident that they won't. And this is especially important, obviously, as we head into the holiday weekend. Many are going to be leaving their houses and their place to enjoy the outdoors. We've done a very good job of flattening the curve by working together. And the actions of a few should not have the impact should not be able to impact us all, but we have to take it seriously. Let's not, and we will not, give up the gains that we have achieved. We have to keep it up, and we're going to keep it up. And we're doing it by keeping to work together so we can and will beat back this virus once and for all. Again, great job to the vast majority of all of our in-store retail and our restaurants. And thank you for all your planning and your preparation. We're going to need you to keep all of that up this weekend and in the weeks ahead. And with that, I'd like to introduce Chief Nisleit to talk a little bit about the weekend ahead and what you can expect from our San Diego Police Department. Chief?
Thank you, sir. First of all, I also want to say thank you to all San Diegans who have been doing a very good job during this whole pandemic. You know, we've opened the beach several weeks ago and people have been doing a great job. And just to reiterate, what is allowed on our beaches is you can access the beach to get in the water, to surf, to swim, to paddle around. You can also run or jog and walk along the shoreline. But again, our beaches to sitting on the sand are actually closed. Our boardwalk remains closed, as do our parking lots. As far as dine-in restaurants, just kind of want to go over what is expected and what you're going to see from the San Diego Police Department. That's also on the sand. So this Memorial Day weekend, you're going to see a very robust grouping of law enforcement, both on the sand during the day and night, but also you're going to see our Vice section working collaboratively with both ABC and our San Diego Code Compliance officers, making certain that our businesses, our restaurants, our dine-in restaurants are following the rules. They'll be going through education, explaining the new public health order, what is allowed, what is not allowed, and then if people are not following the rules, they can and will be enforced upon. Of course, we don't want to do that. We want people to comply, as we also want to continue to move into phase 3 and more on, but is further on down the road. But what we really want to see is, again, that collaboration, that cooperation, people having a good time, following the rules, going out and getting into our dining restaurants and enjoying themselves. But we need to follow the rules. And so that will be our expectations of everyone. And again, you'll see a robust group of officers both during the day and at night, making certain those rules are being followed. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate that update. Next, I'm going to invite Chief James Gartland of San Diego Lifeguards to come up and say a few words. And Chief, again, thank you to all of your efforts, men and women of our lifeguard service. It's a busy weekend ahead. And thank you for San Diegans for following the rules on our beaches. We've continued to be a model for the state out on our beaches for all the right reasons. And Chief Gartland, will you come up and share a few words, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And thank you, San Diego. We have been getting great compliance out on the beaches. You've been doing a great job. We have a big holiday weekend coming up, and unfortunately, it's not like every other holiday weekend at the beach. The stay-at-home order is still in place. The county health orders are in place. We need you to come to the beach, get your exercise, keep moving, and then head back home and stay at home. We need to comply with all of the rules out there. We have full lifeguard staffing out there to keep the beaches safe. When you come to the beach, check in with a lifeguard. Swim at a beach with a lifeguard. We are out there to keep the water safe and keep you protected, but we do need compliance out on the beaches. We need you to keep moving and do not sit, do not lay down, do not loiter. We need the beaches to keep moving, get in and get out. And thank you. You've been doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate all your great work out there, and I know it'll continue on this weekend. Topic number 2, I want to give an update as we approach on the end of Ramadan and religious gatherings in general. As I said, tomorrow marks the last day of the holy month of Ramadan, and this day, which is known as the Festival of Breaking Fast, will take place from Saturday evening to Sunday evening. As you know, currently in California, our Phase 2 does not allow for in-person religious gatherings. But it's one of the reasons why we have contacted the state and the governor's office requesting that San Diego begin to safely move into Phase 3 as part of that pilot program. Prayer now, of course, is needed now more than ever for all of us, our healthcare workers, our families, our first responders, for those battling with the disease, and those, of course, mourning the loss of loved ones, and for San Diegans that are struggling financially. It's really a privilege and pleasure of mine, as I said, to invite up to say a few words Imam Wali Fardan to talk about certainly what the services and the online services and how people are coming together during this very difficult time. And of course, as I said, the celebration of Ramadan. Imam?
Greetings to all, and special thanks to Mayor Kevin Faulconer for inviting me to speak on behalf of the Muslim community and to discuss the history and traditions of Ramadan and the impact of COVID-19 that it has had on this community. Historically, Ramadan is one of the months in the Islamic calendar, and it was also part of the ancient calendar. The term then, the root of it was Aramda, which meant heat, intense heat. The Quran itself was revealed in AD 610 to Prophet Muhammad, praise and peace be upon him, and it is the celebration of that fact that we fast during Ramadan for 30 days, and we read the entire Quran during that time. We also increase our prayers in groups and individually, and we increase community activities such as the feeding of the needy and increase in charity. Normally, these traditions and activities are done in a group setting. However, due to COVID-19 pandemic, we are practicing social distancing by live streaming our traditions through social media and hosting drive-by iftars and other community services. Saturday, as the mayor said, and possibly Sunday, will be our Eid Day, which is the celebration of the end of Ramadan and our victory, we say, over our passions. Normally, again, we celebrate at the Convention Center, the Jacob Center, and other parks and facilities throughout the city, as well as throughout this country. This challenge of social distancing is not new to Islam. Prophet Muhammad, praise and peace be upon him, advised us to quarantine and restrict travel and so forth during pandemics. It's a historical thing. Masjid Taqwa, which I'm the resident imam of, along with other entire Muslim communities, have been hosting drive-by iftar meals, where the meals we would normally eat in the company of each other are now being picked up in various masjids and enjoyed in the homes with our families. The wearing of masks and social distancing has allowed us to continue to feed the homeless and serve the community during Ramadan. We join Mayor Faulconer, Kevin Faulconer, and the city of San Diego in continuing to support social distancing and wearing masks to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Thank you, and greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Mom, thank you, and thank you for all of your work. Thank you so much. Topic number 3 is a contact-free pickup at local libraries. I'd like to give an update on the phased approach as we continue to expand our neighborhood services. So I think everyone knows we closed our San Diego Public Library system in mid-March in response to the pandemic, which unfortunately eliminated physical access to nearly 3 million books, movies, and other materials. Now we're going to restore access to the entire library collection with contact-free pickup service while our libraries remain closed. Beginning this Tuesday, you can begin picking up reserved items at one of 11 select libraries. That doesn't mean you can just show up and grab a book. It's only for items that have been previously reserved. So if you've had a book on hold, you'll be notified when it's ready to be picked up. And if you want to check out a book, we'll begin accepting new holds on materials starting June the 1st. You can visit, you see it on the screen there, sandiego.gov/pickup service to see where and when you can pick up some of the new reading material. And finally, topic 4, our continuing effort to highlight the great job that San Diegans are doing to step up. Today's Step Up story comes from our Muslim Leadership Council. And like all of us, our Muslim community is facing the same challenges and the economic effects following the stay-at-home order. And the shutdown has thrust some of our friends and neighbors into vulnerable positions and food insecurity, leaving some, unfortunately, without a warm meal for the day. We've talked a lot about that. The Muslim Leadership Council took action by funding and organizing their Warm Meals program. With 20 volunteers, they've helped deliver meals to those in need. They serve seniors who cannot risk leaving their home, those living unsheltered in our city, and to our frontline workers who are busy saving lives and may not have time to shop. So to date, I'm proud to say that they have donated roughly 5,000 meals to San Diegans wondering where that next meal might come from. And it's all completely free of charge because of Muslim Leadership Council and the generous donations from so many. So if you're a San Diegan who is in need of that warm meal, or if you'd like to sponsor a meal, you can go to mlcsd.org. Thank you to the Muslim Leadership Council for stepping up to help our community in need. And in conclusion, again, it's going to be a holiday weekend. Thank you, San Diego, for continuing to follow the rules and do a great job. Let's do a great job on our beaches again. Chief Gartland and Chief Nisleit will be out there ensuring that that happens and I want everybody to be very safe. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions from members of the media.
And today's first question comes from Anthony Pura with ABC 10 News.
Hello, Anthony.
Hello, Mayor. My question is actually for the police chief this time.
Okay, Chief.
Now, Chief, in the past, every time there's a new set of rules that roll out, there's usually a grace period or educational period. With the reopening just happening less than 48 hours ago, El Prez's management said that this is a new territory for them and it's a difficult learning curve. Why was El Prez shut down immediately instead of getting a warning? And did they have a point here that businesses face a learning curve for this reopening?
Well, you know, I'll respond in this way. We're in a very unique time where we're talking about the life and well-being of folks. And so what was seen at the El Prez, Dr. Wooten and County Health decided they needed to make immediate decision to shut them down with our support. And so we went out and served that order to El Prez. And so I understand normally that's the truth, but again, we're not in normal times. It's very unique times, and we're talking about public health.
Do we have any other questions today? If not, thank you. Thank you to all. Have a safe, healthy Memorial Day weekend. And with that, I look forward to our briefing next week. Thank you.